The Wind on Fire trilogy is fantastic, except for one really big issue. Growing up, I loved reading the Wind on Fire trilogy by William Nicholson, and I thought, hey, I'm trying to read 50 books by the end of the year. Why not get 3 off the list at once by revisiting a childhood favorite? And for the first book, The Windsinger, yeah, I liked it. I was like, yeah, this is what I remember it being. And then these two appeared. And while they are better than the first book, there's a big problem. Let's get into it. For those who don't know, the trilogy follows the Manth people, who are a group of people who have their own city and society and all that kind of thing, and specifically 3 people: Bowmanhath, Kestrelhath, who are twins, and their friend Mumpo. Kestrel and Bowman are the typical inseparable twins. You cannot think of one without thinking of the other. That's the whole point of them, right? To the point where they are so in tune with each other that they can actually speak to each other in their minds. Mumpo, on the other hand, is, if I had to give you another piece of fiction, like to reference Mumpo is Ralph Wiggum on the bus going, I'm in danger. In the first book, The Windsinger, we follow Kestrel, Bowman, and Mumpo as they go on a journey to save their people, because they live in a society where everything is decided by your score, your points. You earn points by doing well at school, doing well in your job, and your points, your social standing, determines what color robes you wear and where in the city you live, from the slums all the way up to the really, really nice districts. While most people are happily going along with this society and its structure, despite how unfair it is, the Hath family, Kestrel and Bowman's family, they can see it for what it is. It's oppressive and it needs to go. In the middle of their city, there is a tower called the Windsinger. It is missing its voice, so they need to go find the Windsinger's voice. If they find it, the singing from this tower will cleanse the city of all the evil that is in there and sort of get rid of this horrible oppressive society. Lovely concept. And they take along with them a boy called Mumpo, who is essentially, like I said, the Ralph Wiggum, in that nobody really likes him. He's kind of dopey and silly. He's just generally ignored and disliked. But he's taken a shine to Kestrel because she is the first person who's genuinely shown kindness to him. Think the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa gives Ralph the Valentine's card and he becomes obsessed with her. It's almost identical. Lovely, fantastic. Book 1, done. I'm explaining this as vaguely as I can so I don't spoil much, right? But second book, Slaves of the Mastery. This takes place 7 years later. They are now 15, 16 years old, and the Mastery has arrived. The Mastery is a nation ruled by a man called the Master, where they go around to other cities, other countries, and they burn them to the ground, and they take the people as slaves to join the Mastery. The Manth people are just the newest victims in this. They get captured and taken in as slaves to the Master in the Mastery, and they must find a way to essentially get free from the Master and sort of find their way to their new home now that their old home has been burned to the ground. Then Fire Song is they've escaped the Mastery and they are on their way to said homeland, right? Great book. Slaves of the Mastery and Fire Song, best 2, much better than Windsinger. But there is one glaring issue that I got as an adult reading this that I didn't pick up on as a kid. Kestrel and Bowman have a younger sister called Pinto. Not a problem with that. She's in the first book. She's a baby. Right? She's a baby in the first book. The problem is, she's obsessed with Mumpo, like romantically obsessed with him, which is a problem when you consider the ages of these characters. The trio, the main trio, are 15 turning 16 in Slaves of the Mastery and Fire Song, right? 15 turning 16. Pinto is 7, 8 at best. Now you might be like, oh well, what if it's just like, you know, like childlike sort of thing? Oh, I really like this guy because he's older and it's cute and it's like a cute kiddie crush thing, right? No, she full on pushes that she's going to marry him, and she spends the next 2 books gradually chipping away at him until he accepts that she is going to be the one that he ends up with. She is 7 turning 8. I was happily reading this trilogy going, oh, I forgot just how good this trilogy is. It's such a good ride. It's a fun story, fun ride. And then I got to that and I went, ooh, no. And it starts immediately in the second book. Immediately. And it doesn't let up until the end of the third book. And I just found whenever that happened, I was getting a little creeped out by the fact that the 15-year-old is being basically courted by the 7-year-old. And it's not in a cutesy way, it's a no, I'm going to have your babies kind of way. I'm not quite sure what William Nicholson was thinking when he did that. I don't know, maybe he thought it was innocent enough to be fine, but for me, it gave me a bit of like the ick, which is a shame because this trilogy is fantastic, except for that one thing. But that one thing kept taking me out of it and kept making me go, oh, that's not okay. I don't like that. I don't like that. I can't recommend this trilogy anymore. I was gearing up, ready to recommend these 3 books, going like, hey, if you've not read these young adult books, they're fantastic. Read them to your kids, let your teenagers read them, whatever. They're fantastic. They teach great lessons about society and dictatorship and all the different types of things you need to look out for in a society to make sure that you're not being controlled and corrupted, right? And then there's that. And I'm just there going like, oh, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe. But for me, that makes this series a no. So the Wind on Fire trilogy is almost perfect. Almost.